So I was asked today, with regards to a Bitcoin mining operation, what are the legal applications, legal concerns that you need if you wanted to start a mining application. So just thinking about what a mining operation really is that you're solving these complex algorithms. It's all dependent on computing power, and effectively all that's happening from a technical standpoint is you are adding records to the blockchain, and at some point it turns itself into a cryptocurrency. From that perspective, there's inherently nothing wrong with it. Cryptocurrency is a property in some places it's a commodity. Bitcoin's a commodity here in the United States, so it's not inherently the process by itself. There really isn't many legal implications. I would say if there are issues such like as a place like Iceland where it's illegal to convert uh, the local currency to Bitcoin, or places like Russia where it's just been banned. Well, obviously, if cryptocurrency is banned or there's a decided regulation of cryptocurrency, then your ability to mine cryptocurrency is also going to be an issue. So that's something you consider. Now, if you're going to start a mining operation for purposes of raising money and then developing that operation, obviously securities laws come into play, maybe even commodities laws, depending on what you're mining. Obviously, you're going to set that up much like you would a hedge fund, where you have the mining operation and you solicit investments and offer some kind of return. And in those cases, you're most likely going to have to follow Regulation D and issue, some sort of limited partnership interest and go through the whole machinations of 504, 505, or 506 of Reg D, which relates to the amount of money that you can raise, how you can raise that money, and the whole accredited, non-accredited investor thing. Because if you're going to do a 505, you're stuck at $5 million max raise, and you can sell to only 35 unaccredited investors. Whereas if you do 506, which is any amount of money, you can't sell to any non-accredited. So you have to consider that if you're doing a mining operation. It's not like an ICO, where the ICO, we can define that token being sold as not being a security and being outside the ambit of securities laws. This is decidedly, when you're talking about mining, it's decidedly its own enterprise, right? And it's the entity that is controlling the mining is ultimately the one that's soliciting the investment, and that investment would undoubtedly have to be in some form of common stock, partnership interest, and or vice versa. So, that's definitely something to consider. Another thing to consider, and there's really a hole in the law about this, is that the CFTC, the Commodities Future Trading Commission, has come out and declared, and did some years ago now, that Bitcoin is a commodity. And so, if you are in fact doing a Bitcoin mining operation, the question becomes: are you structuring a hedge fund of sorts or an entity of sorts, or is that more of a commodity pool? And do you need licensure as a commodity trading advisor? And I think where this falls apart is that the CFTC has never defined Bitcoin to be a futures contract or a swap or some sort of currency option. So while it's blatantly or sort of on a bland long-term scale said, well, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, it hasn't actually defined what Bitcoin is a commodity. The CFTC hasn't defined what type of commodity it really is. So there's this vast hole that, it really needs to be addressed. And it's not necessarily going to be addressed in the context of a mining operation, more I think in a sort of the Bitcoin ETF or Bitcoin type hedge fund. But it's something to consider, because you may have some securities obligations, but there may be an implication regarding the Commodities Act if you're going to, be operating with Bitcoin, which has been deemed to be a commodity. So I'll post this up on my website, tracyfirm, TracyFirm.com, and I'll talk to you later.